Well, I evacuated the city a couple of days ago. Started off on my bike, but the woodland here is just far too dense for me to get through on the bike, so I've had to abandon it and go out on foot. Managed to grab what equipment I could and put it on my my belt system, so I've got enough to keep me going for another night. I should be home by tomorrow, hopefully, but it looks like I'm going to have to spend another night out here. I didn't want to take the roads because it leaves me too exposed, and it's a longer way round. It's a shorter distance going through the forestry, but it's just too dense for the bike to make it, so on foot from here on out. Yeah, it's far too dense to try and cycle through here. Even walking can be a bit difficult. So many things to trip up on. So many bugs this year. I've never known it as bad. It's everywhere, thousands of them. Mosquitoes, I guess because we had the damp weather at the start of the year, it's been kind of perfect conditions for them. Now I have got some repellent on, but I don't know what I find more uncomfortable, being covered in sticky repellent or being covered in bites, especially when you're camping out for the night and you can't have as thorough a shower as you can at home. It's so uncomfortable, for me personally at least anyway, trying to get to sleep covered in sticky residue. Because when I'm at home, I have a bath straight before bed. I love getting into bed clean, so I haven't put too much repellent on. I've actually bought some a little pen size spray to put on after they've bit me to relieve the itching. I find that more useful because a lot of the repellents, they don't work 100% anyway, and I don't want to waste too much water showering myself either. The sun's about ready to set, so I better find somewhere quick to set up camp. I think there's a clear patch over here. I found a decent place to set up camp, so I'll just put the tent up and then I'll show you what equipment I've got with me. Now here I've got a pouch that came with my Yugoslavian mess kit, but I found a better pouch for that to go in, so now I use this for my regular sort of UK mess tin and hexi stove. I also dyed it green because it was originally grey, and I just don't like grey and I wanted it to match the rest of my kit. But in here, as you can see, I've got a couple of mess tins, cutlery set, one big, one small mess tin, some fuel for the hexi stove, some tissue paper, hexi stove itself with more fuel inside, so I've got plenty to last me, and some antiseptic wipes for cleaning myself and the equipment. Now as you can see, that all fits in there perfectly, and it also is tight enough that it doesn't rattle around or make a noise with the metal clanging against the metal. Having the wipes and the tissue paper in there cushions it. And I've got a couple of litres of water here in the canteens. In the front pouch of this canteen holder, I've got some matches and water purification tablets as well. And I've got a few tools with me as well. I've got a fold out trowel, torch, a Weller knife, and a little backup blade and saw multi-tool. Lastly, here I've got my food pouch. Now on the inside of the lid here I've got some matches in there. Then in the top here I've got a pack of pasta, a couple of breakfast bars, my fire kit, which I'll go into more detail later, some spaghetti there, which is fast cooking. They're not necessarily that good for long-term storage. These will last about 6 months, but because they're kind of already cooked, you've just got to warm them up, so it's a lot quicker and obviously saves you on fuel as well. And in the bottom here I've got a can of chicken. All of these have got ring pull lids, so they're easy to get into. Can of chicken, can of tuna, baked beans with sausages, and spaghetti with sausages. So I've got a decent amount of protein there. Now I know they're in tins, which adds extra weight, but I just like the convenience of having them in tins. You don't have to worry about spillage, they'll last a long time in storage, you don't have to worry about them going out of date. And if I really wanted to, I could cook the food in the tins, and it will save me messing up my mess kit, which then in turn saves me water having to clean the mess kit. I've then, in a little sleeve at the front here, got a bar of dark chocolate and a sachet of coffee. Now this is my homemade fire kit. I got the container from Poundland. There were 3 for £1, and they're really kind of perfect little size to make pocket survival kits or fire kits if you want to. And they're watertight as well, these clip and lock ones. Open that up. I've got 50 matches there in a little kind of watertight baggie, Ziploc style. Got a lighter here with a bit of tyre inner tube, because that makes good tinder. Then I've got more hardcore fire lighting match there, wrapped in cling film. A magnesium block with a ferro rod for lighting fires with sparks, obviously. A couple of candles here. Now these are handy because if you're having trouble starting a fire, you don't have to keep going through your matches, lighting one after the other in attempts to get the fire going. You don't want to waste the fuel in your lighter, keep having to try it. So if you just light up a candle, that'll last for ages, and you can just keep using that rather than burning through your matches and your lighter fluid. Now I'd like to get some of those joke candles that are hard to blow out, because that'd make them pretty much windproof as well. I just haven't come across any yet. Then in the bottom here I've got 8 cotton balls, which are covered in Vaseline, so they make excellent tinder, they burn really easily. And then just a striker there for the matches at the bottom. Get the old mug shots on the go. Looks reasonably appetising, if not a bit sicky. Thought I'd give one of the square hexi fuel tablets a go, as I haven't used them before. I always use the smaller round ones, and damn, that is burning like crazy. They work a lot better than those small ones. The small ones are good for just something quick, but you really want those big square ones for a meal. I've got my cup of noodles. Nice. I don't know what's more annoying, being bitten by the mosquitoes or their buzzing noise they make all night. so many of them, even breathing through my mouth. I've had them just fly in my mouth, and I've eaten a few, which I guess evens things out a bit considering how many of them have been feasting on me. I don't know if there's many calories in a mosquito though. So I thought I'd better have the noodles as well. Now, not that you can really see it in the dark, but I haven't bothered putting the outer sheet on the tent tonight. I've just got the inner piece up with the mosquito netting because that's essential, but otherwise I'm having a night as under the stars as possible. Now, the last time I slept out in this, the mosquitoes still managed to get me where my hand was, I don't know how, because the sort of bottom goes up a bit like that, but somehow I'd slept with my arm like that, and they'd got their little pincers through the holes in the mesh and had bitten all down the side of my hand. So I've got to be wary of that tonight. So you can see them out there buzzing around now. Got a whiff of me. Well, it's morning now. When I initially went to bed last night, I didn't bother putting the outer sheet on the tent because I thought it would be nice to sort of spend the night somewhat under the stars but still protected from the bugs. But it wasn't anywhere near as warm last night as it was before, a lot cooler. I woke up at about 4 AM, quite cold, where there's quite a cool breeze. It's still blowing through now, so I couldn't get back to sleep, so I had to get up and put the cover on, which made a big difference to the temperature. And I ended up having a good night's sleep after that. But I still feel a bit fudged after being interrupted halfway through my sleep. Quick look at the woodland around here. This isn't one of my favourite spots I've stopped, to be honest, but it's not too bad. It's starting to come out brighter now. Wait for that to get going. I think I'll have some sausage and beans. Brekkie. Only 50p a can. These things, so they're not too bad, not too expensive to stock up on. Same with the ones with the spaghetti. Didn't take many minutes. I hate wasting them, so give it a good blowout. I mean, I've already used that twice and I've hardly got through it. These are a lot better than the small kind of, you know, round tablet sized ones. They last a lot longer and seem to burn a lot hotter. And they're not particularly any more expensive either. You can get them off eBay for each just a few quid. So, you know, they last a good long while. Reuse them over and over again. Getting another fire going to warm me up a bit. It seems a bit cool this morning. Nothing too big. This is only a small fire, but it's by far enough to warm me up. That's why I'm having my breakfast. Don't want to make anything too big and conspicuous. Fire's also given me a bit of a respite from the mosquitoes. The smoke's keeping them away at the minute. I don't think I've ever bitten so much as I have over this last night. I thought it was bad last time. God. I think part of it's because I've just accepted it now, rather than keep constantly swatting them away and having it distracting me all the time. It kind of ruins the night out, and now I just let them have at it for the most part. Otherwise you can't really concentrate on anything else. Now, as you can see around here, there's hardly any moss, only tiny bits, so for cleaning out my pots and pans I've had to get through quite a few wipes and bits of tissue paper. Which isn't the end of the world, so I've got enough, but obviously you want to spare it as much as you can. On the plus side, there's no shortage of firewood. Loads of dead wood all over the place. Well, I've packed everything away. That's where I was set up for the night. You can just see a little indentation in the ground there. Other than it being a bit chilly and me not really being as keen on the location, the actual ground itself was the most comfortable I've slept on for a long time. It was just the perfect kind of flatness, and it wasn't at a slope or anything. A nice shape in my back. I'm absolutely covered in bites. You can see a few of them, all the red spots all over me. Anyway, everything's packed away. Got a bit of water left, enough to get me home, so time for me to get going. Right, I'm going to start heading back to my parents' house now. My fallback bug out location should get there in a few hours, so thanks for watching and I'll catch you next time.